Alright. Well, sorry, I'm seeing a rainbow from something. Anyway, um, well, I imagine that most of you watching this have not watched any of my previous videos because of the nature of this video, so I'm going to introduce myself again. My name is Mike Wolf. I am a disabled American. I suffered brain damage 8 years ago, and I'm sorry, 9 years ago, and as a result have been, let's say, exposed to some of the worst aspects of American society. In my travels and my studies, I have attempted to gain understanding of what things are really about, what's really going on, why things happen the way they happen, and I have, in the process, achieved a near complete understanding of what goes on. As a result of this, it's a form of enlightenment, to be quite honest. As a result of this, I understand exactly what is wrong with America, what is wrong with most of the world, and how to fix it. But all that aside, I wanted to address one specific matter, and that is this the bombing in Boston. I did address it in a previous video where I indicated that the performance of law enforcement in Boston in that they shut down the entire city to go after one 19-year-old kid was such a bad choice of actions that it's certainly going to lead to further attacks. You can watch my video for a detailed explanation. But this one I wanted to talk about a late development in the matter. And that is that the reason that the Boston bombings happened is because, and this is a theory at this point because I was not at the interview, I do not have a transcript of the interview, I did not speak to either the FBI or, more importantly, the older brother. I apologize, I don't remember the names. They're Russian, and my ability to remember combinations of letters of that nature is significantly impaired, so I don't remember the brothers' names. But the elder brother was interviewed by the FBI in 2011 on some kind of a tip that he was possibly participating in terrorist activities or might be potentially becoming a terrorist or whatever. My own experience with law enforcement demonstrates to me that, well, I'll just come right out and say it. The fact of the matter is that the FBI mistreated this person, deprived him of his civil rights after he just became a United States citizen, and in doing so fostered within him a seed of hatred and anger that culminated in the taking of three lives in Boston, and the severe maiming and injury of hundreds of other people, over 100 other people. I'm not accusing, I am not judging, I am doing nothing of the sort. I am merely observing that the consequences of one action, the interview and behavior of the FBI towards the elder brother, is directly responsible for the later actions of the brother 2 years later, which ended up as we see them, the bombing. I mean, logic is on my side as far as the validity of my hypothesis and my theory. But regardless, our law enforcement and our civil servants in this country do not work for us, and in fact work against us, and I would like to do what I can to point that out, observe, make this observation known, so that others can act upon this. And it does help to understand how this came to be, why it came to be, both for your sake as a citizen and for those in law enforcement who might happen to be listening. I happen to know that they are, and I happen to know that the people who deal with terrorism may eventually come upon this video. So I will address that audience. Law enforcement is of a mindset that is shared by civil servants and politicians alike. It is a mindset that is a collective mindset, a mindset that places them as as adversarial. It's an adversarial relationship between themselves and the citizenry of this nation. They believe that we are not capable of ruling ourselves. They believe we are not capable of taking care of ourselves. They believe we are not capable of protecting ourselves, of securing ourselves. They believe that we are immoral, misbehaved, uneducated, ignorant, stupid, you name it. This is their attitude. They believe we're all criminals, that we're all cheapskates, bums, whatever. I mean, this is everybody, you know, this is anybody that is not law enforcement or civil servant or politician or corporate executive. Well, that's another culture altogether, but anyway, this culture of civil servants is vastly destructive, and they believe they are all powerful and infallible. But simple logic dictates that this is obviously not true, not possible. I apologize. I don't prepare for these. I just kind of think about things and say them, and I'm certainly aware that you're used to a fully prepared statement from a newsreader. I'm sorry, I'm not. You know, I'm sorry. No matter what I do to fluff up my hair and make myself look beautiful, I'm not going to be an anchor woman or even a stoic anchor man. Sorry, I'm not hired by some media organization to be presentable to you. I'm just a person like you, so I just happen to know some things, to have come to understand some things through thought and research that I feel necessary to share. And I do apologize that I can't be more succinct, more concise in my delivery here. A lot of that has to do with the fact that I suffered brain damage as well, so I apologize for that. But anyway, addressing the matter at hand, the war on terror did nothing but create terrorists. The war wasn't forged to begin with. The Bush administration created that war to satisfy the financial needs of certain industries, specifically the military-industrial complex and related industries, as well as, well, all industry. It also fostered a further empowerment of capital owners over citizenry and society, and has vastly accelerated the downfall of America, which to be quite honest, has been inevitable since the beginning, given our choice of socioeconomic systems. I refer to capital, I refer to, of course, to capitalism, which is the privatization of public resources, of otherwise public resources, placing in private control of public resources, which, if you think about it that way, is a very bad idea. And because that's what capitalism is, it's really the only way to really actually think about it. So, you know, offering real solutions. How do we get out of this mess? Well, first of all, no one's going to believe me until it starts to happen again. Probably not even until the third attack. I'm calling Boston the first. So 2 more attacks before people start believing me, and then that'll only be the people who have seen this. So if you are watching this, and it does happen, you know, please come back and show people. that it was predicted. Okay, that it was predicted, and it was predicted because I understand. So what do we do to remedy it? Well, we need to address some really significant issues. I think, unfortunately, by then it's going to be too late, because the powers that be will have fostered or fomented this attitude among Americans that we need to go get them, go get them, go get them, and couldn't be worse an attitude or worse response. The idea is to protect ourselves, to protect others, to provide peace and harmony. And going around saying, yeah, we're the best, fuck everybody, fuck the Islam, the Muslims. I mean, that's just, I should not have to say that this is childish and stupid and self-destructive. But I guess I do. It's fucking childish. It's fucking destructive. It's just plain stupid. We're not the best. And who cares? Who cares who's the best? All that matters is that we're all doing the right thing. We are all equal. Every one of us. From President Obama to the untouchable floor sweeper in India. We're all the same. We all have the same potential. We all have the same capabilities. So, trying to have power over others, trying to inflict our will on others is just not right. Anyway, I wish I could say more specific. As far as you and being able to fix this, one of the things I'm doing is I was going to try and start a petition on the White House petition site, but you got to have 150 people to agree with you before everybody else can see it, and I don't have a single friend in my name, so the possibility of getting 150 people I know to sign this petition is just utterly ridiculous. And the petition is, I don't even have the URL. Maybe I'll put it in the comments. But the petition is to eliminate our nuclear weapons stockpile. Completely eliminate all nuclear weapons from the American inventories. Who the hell are we to sell North Korea and Iran they can't have nuclear bombs when we not only have more nuclear weapons than any other nation on this planet, but we are the only nation that has ever used weapons of nuclear weapons, not only in anger, in violent conflict, but against innocent civilians. Hiroshima and Nagasaki were both civilian targets. Kind of like Poland and France and Holland and the other countries that Nazi Germany took over and tried to, or invaded and tried to take over. I'm just saying. I don't think that we have a right to have nuclear weapons. I think American politicians and American civil services servants through their recent ineptitude or through their recent performance have demonstrated quite clearly that they are not capable, they are not responsible for maintaining a nuclear weapons arsenal. We can't trust these people. They're creating terrorists. So we can't trust them to have these nuclear weapons. And in the strictest of terms, the Second Amendment says, should be interpreted to say that the government can never be more armed, more heavily armed, more well armed than the people. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of the state, the right of the people to bear and keep arms shall not be infringed. What do you think the first part means? A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a state? We're not talking about the army. They're talking about us. So where's my nuclear bombs? Where's my tanks? Where's my drones? I need to have the same weapons as the U.S. military because I am a citizen. That is my right, so that I can guarantee that the government cannot have more power than I do. Yet the police have taken 2 of my guns without just cause. The government is trying to take the rest of them. The government won't let me have a tank. The government won't let me have a drone. The government won't let me have a nuclear bomb. I'm sorry, but the Constitution has enshrined my right to arm myself equal to our government, if not greater than. So, give up your nukes, America. Give up your nukes or give them to the citizens. And if you people up there are holding office and holding power, political office, elected office, or appointed, or civil servant, if you think that we can't be responsible enough to have our weapons, just remember what form of government we have. Democracy. It's a government of the people. And we, the people, are to be more responsible, more powerful than you. We, after all, put you in power. We put you as being responsible for running this country. Not us. This country. So, change your attitudes, civil servants, and start thinking about what's good for this country's people, not this country's economy, not this country's rich, not this country's powerful. This country's people, because this country's people are this country. I have hope. I will say that. I have hope. But it's infinitely frustrating because I am not a patient person. I'm sorry, if I see something that I'm doing wrong, I'm going to immediately stop it. I'll give you an example. I have massive food allergies. I am allergic to 99% of the inventory of a typical grocery store. 99%. 99%. That means if you take 100 random grocery items, there's probably only one I can eat. So, I was told I had to get off these foods if I wanted to end my suffering. I was given this plan of how to transition to an allergen-free diet. Once I found out what I was allergic to, I went home. I got a bag. I went through my cupboards and refrigerator, and everything that was, well, I got 2 bags actually, everything that was still edible and that I could safely give to someone else because it wasn't contaminated with my own germs, I gave to the neighbors. Everything else was thrown away. Just like that. If I recognize that there's a problem, I'm going to immediately correct it. So yes, when I recognize that America shouldn't have nuclear weapons, America shouldn't be abusing its citizens, American civil servants and politicians shouldn't be acting like they're all powerful and in control because they are public servants. And yes, CalPERS, that's why we pay our civil servants so well and give them such pensions, because they are servants. So while they are serving us, they work for us. And then if they do a good job serving us, we'll take care of them in retirement. But if they're not going to work for us, then we're not going to pay for them to retire. So I am calling for the complete and total abolition of CalPERS. Right now. Until you civil servants, California and elsewhere, get off your asses and start working for the people of this nation. So, it's not a threat. This is a demand. There is a difference. I am not a terrorist. I am an American citizen. I have the right to make demands of those who are hired and paid and elected to serve me. And every one of you watching this has the same right: civil servant, politician, law enforcement, or ordinary citizen. You are all citizens first. Your role is, your job as civil servant or otherwise, is second. You are citizens first. If you mistreat the citizens, you are mistreating yourself. If you abuse the citizens, you are abusing yourself. If you steal from the citizens, you are stealing from yourself. Please, please bear this in mind. I'm not going to beg you. I'm not going to ask you. I'm demanding that you see this. Please. America is better than this. We have the potential to be the greatest nation on the planet, in the history of the planet. But we are squandering it because we want more than someone else has. Because we want it better than our neighbor, than our fellow human on this planet. There's no reason, there's no justification for it. If you work harder, you'll have it better for yourself. If you work harder than someone else, that person won't have as much as you have.